for coming out and attending. We will start with item number 1, which is nuisances. It's a resolution overruling objection to the abatement of identified nuisances. We will have a public hearing scheduled tonight for that as well. Any comments or concerns, council? All right. Our next item is the franchise agreement. It's establishing a new franchise agreement between Unity Fiber Gold Co. LLC and the City of Anniston. That is also an ordinance on its first reading tonight. If you guys have any questions or concerns regarding that. So we currently have, and Ms. Max, if you want to explain that probably better than I can, but we currently have an agreement.
So Unity Fiber currently has a franchise agreement with the city. It's called Southern Lights. It was done in 2016, and it allows them to have an agreement to operate with fiber optic transmission lines within the city. And basically that's for like their high-speed internet, your phone service, that type of service. And so they don't want to make any, don't make any changes to the city, but basically they want to have a new franchise with Gulf Coast, or Gulf Code is their new name, and it'll be under the same guise as that 2016 ordinance.
And we had that agreement in our work session.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
It wasn't really clear to me why they wanted to put the franchise and the new entity's name, but that's what they asked, and it doesn't, terms are as good as they were before, so there's no new downside for us.
So it's the exact same term.
There's some kind of corporate, there's some kind of corporate reorganization going on, and I never got a clear understanding of why they couldn't just assign their existing franchise, or just looking at it, there wasn't any downside to us.
No,
So would you guys like to continue on its first reading, or is it something that you would like to do for unanimous consent? Continue on first reading?
It's no big deal, unanimous consent's fine with me.
Okay. Majority, you okay with that? Okay. All right, we will move forward with unanimous consent for immediate consideration at the council meeting. And last on our list is city manager updates.
yes, Mayor Smith, in front of you is the quote for the traffic study for Forest Lane. So you all can kind of see what that cost is to do that study. And then I just need a little bit of direction from the council if you would like to proceed or not.
I have asked in the past for traffic studies, because that's part of the ordinance when someone asks for a speed device. And I've asked for them, I had no idea it costs as much money for a traffic study. I mean, I'm really blown away by it. But is it required if they request? Is it required that I know it's required according to the ordinance, but is it say everyone who wants to have a speed device, like they call them speed bumps or whatever?
That's speed modification,
Or,
traffic modification.
right. Is it something we are required to do, the traffic study? I know it's required by the ordinance, but does the council make that call as to whether or not we're going to proceed? I mean, $9,000 for a little tiny street? I can't believe it.
Yes, ma'am. Again, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean,
Yes, ma'am. So typically the council will request a study to be done, and then you would ask, or you all would decide if you want to proceed with said study, and then we present the results of said study to the council. I don't think the ordinance specifically states the traffic study has to be done for each common device, but there is a process that they have to follow. I don't believe an exact study has to be done for each one.
Right, because I think it was done in 2020, and I don't think this traffic study is required for those. But I do think that we need to look at that ordinance and reassess it as soon as possible, because if I can name 5 neighborhoods that are asking for speed bumps right now, and if we are doing $9,000 traffic studies for every street that has asked for a speed bump, then we are going to be
Spending a
spending
lot of
this
money.
money. So.
Well, I know that they're required to do a petition. And I really thought, I need to reread that ordinance, but I thought the ordinance stated that it had to be a traffic study first. There was a procedure. And I need to revisit that, because maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
Yeah, I do think that we need to look at that ordinance and assess it before. So I guess my
I had a constituent. He said he requested, you know, years ago, I don't remember anything about it, I don't remember just ever contacting me before. But he said that he wanted a speed bump, he said people were speeding on Forest Lane. I don't know how they're speeding on Forest Lane, I really don't. But anyway, he said, why didn't you, you know, request a traffic study previously? But honestly, I don't think he ever contacted me before, maybe he thinks he did. But anyway, that's why, he says they're speeding, but
There just has to be a more financially efficient way to do this. I cannot imagine us having to spend $9,000 every time we put a speed
I
bump.
can't either. I mean, I had no idea it cost anything like that.
Maybe, if we could look at the ordinance, between now and the next council meeting and have some suggested changes or some concerns and discuss this at the next work session.
I've got a meeting set up next week to discuss, this ordinance, if you'd like to.
I get it.
It does say that the city engineer shall perform a traffic engineering study.
The city engineer, or do we have to hire that out?
Well, I think we don't have anybody on staff.
Yeah.
Qualifications.
Right, yeah.
And how is that
Brand's
linked?
engineer?
The situation we run into with this, as I was explaining to her, what could happen is that in conducting a traffic study, local folks could do the study, but they cannot provide the data. And that's what they actually charge us for, the actual data, the processing, which they wind up doing it. And they're already working on redoing their ordinance, because of the fact I went today to see them about some speed bumps. He said, well, whoever did it before did do a very good job of it, so they're looking at redoing that ordinance to start off with.
Yeah, I've got a meeting with Mr. Cole next week to discuss the ordinance and how it prohibits kind of more effective and efficient placement of speed haunting.
In the past, when I requested that, we put a sign up, and it actually had, the data was how many cars are going down this road and how fast are they. I never thought it would cost extra money to find that, to determine that. And I would think that our police department, you know, the people who are in traffic would be able to assess that data and say, is there a real problem here or not? A lot of people say there's a problem, there's really not a problem.
Like I said, they could sit there and do the counting, but so far as the calculation, so forth, they cannot do. Now, one of the things we have to be mindful, this is on the speed bump, but if it came to a situation where you were changing out a traffic control device, you really would have to determine whether or not, because you don't want the city to be liable, when they do not have a traffic engineer. And I give you a prime example. To show you that there's not a traffic, I'm with the bench right now, over at the exchange, a traffic engineer did not do that flow pattern over there.
Probably not,
I guarantee they did not.
yeah.
Do our speed detection devices, the ones we place on trailers, do those collect data? No.
No, not the data you're looking for.
Okay. What data do they collect? So,
We have tag readers attached to them. Tag readers.
okay.
Okay, so it doesn't tell the volume and it doesn't tell the speed. I mean, it does tell the speed, there's a little
It
sign.
doesn't record the speed, it shows the speed on the.
But it doesn't store that data.
No, not the
Okay.
speed data.